What's good, YouTube? Steel here, and today's video we are, as you can see, just inside within the top 1000. Honestly, my peak was like around 1920, like five wins above this. But with testing for the 10k, honestly, it sounds like a bunch of excuses, but I was trying a whole bunch of decks. I wanted to see what was best, and honestly, it came with a lot of losing. So I dropped as low as 1780 actually in the past few days. Luckily, I've been climbing back and forth with a few decks, but however, the most successful one has been Oricorio Greninja, which is why I want to make a video to highlight the deck that got me back into top 1000, and hopefully we go further in as we go into the gameplay. So let's just go straight into the card by card. As you can see here, it's a pretty standard deck list. We have the 1 Shaman, 2 Froakie, 2 Greninja, 2 Oricorio, 1 Giratina, 1 red card, double red candy, double Pokeball, 1 Cape, double Research, 1 Cyrus, double Irida, 1 Guzma. It's not too crazy. Differences that you'll see in other people's lists is maybe they're playing the Frogadier, maybe they're going double Cyrus and only 1 Irida. Honestly, it becomes like Mars over red card maybe, but for the most part, like every card here, I feel like it's massive for what you're trying to do, and at the end of the day, it's like enough to win consistently, which is all you need for ranked. Like, I'm aware how I guess standard this list is, or that it's not anything crazy. But I guess the main reason for the video that I'm making is to point out like what I personally believe is the best way to climb currently in ranked. Due to like the diversity of the meta, you need something that like consistently, or has like at least not consistently, I guess the word is like a fighting chance against everything that you go against. There's like very few decks that I go against that I feel like, oh, I have no chance at winning this, outside of like obviously if you break. But I'm talking about like there's like decks like what's a good example? When you're playing like the Tapu, Lele, Giratina list, and you go against a Garchomp, you're like, oh, I'm done for. Or if you're playing Giratina Darkrai and you go against Oricorio Magnezone deck, and you don't have or don't seek the Kamala, you're like, oh, I can't win this. Like that type of feeling, this deck tends to not have it outside of a brick, but that's nor here nor there. That's gonna happen with any deck that you play. So yeah, one thing that makes this really good is the fact that ranked is all about grinding. So the fact that you have Oricorio just to like basically have some like auto wins is not something many decks could say that they have. Outside, like obviously you have good matchups that you should win every time, but knowing that you have a card that says like if you're not playing an out, like you auto lose, is insanity. And what ends up happening in ranked is like, since people have to grind so many games, a lot of people go into ranked with the mindset of like, I'm gonna play the most like consistent or the best like shaped deck, and if I happen to go against the bird, I just take the loss and keep going. Because it's like, let's say if I play 10 games and I only play 1 bird, I'll sacrifice that 1 to have like the best matchup against the other 9. We're going with the mindset that if we match those people, those are like free wins here and there. We'll take the free win and then we'll fight. We'll play our butts off against everything else because we can, which is what this deck allows. I guess some choices that I could like explain is the lack of Frogadier. I genuinely, although like Frogadier does kind of like play around other people's red cards, ideally I feel like if you're taking that extra turn for the frog, sometimes it's like too late, if that makes sense. I don't know, like going Froakie directly into Greninja is like your best chance to like win. And the fact that our main like win conditions are the Giratina and the Oricorio, you could kind of like afford not to see the Greninja line. Obviously you win the games when you see Greninja, right? Like you want to see Greninja, and we're playing a water energy, which I probably should have highlighted before. This is a dual energy deck. You play water and lightning, and you obviously the Giratina fields itself. The reason I play red card above Mars, although it might be like pretty obvious at this point, is red card is obviously very important early game, but you can't, and then I believe Mars is better, right? Because it's just as good in the early game as red card, and it's much better in the late game. However, in the early game, which is when you want to do it the most, because you're trying to break up rare candy decks. You're not trying, it's not like back in the Darkrai Giratina, I guess in the Shining Revelry format, the best thing about Mars was late game, when they had obviously like they were holding to the Sabrinas or Cyruses, you were taking them down to 1 card and they no longer had like that 2-card combo to beat you, or like I guess it's like the mentality I had. But the red card's function and Mars's function in this format has changed, and being able to do it early is better. So you don't want to be caught between saying like, oh, am I gonna refuel their hand, or am I gonna draw 2 cards, right? Like you don't want to have like to choose between Research and Mars. So being able to do Research and then red card them, or Research into red card and use it, is like huge, at least in my opinion. As far as what else, the double Irida, I saw a list that were playing double Stars instead. The double Irida really keeps you in games, especially against like Tapu Lele and stuff like that are constantly pinging you for like it basically nullifies the Tapu swing, which is really important, especially in a format where now it's all over the place. And for the most part, everything else is pretty standard. Like I said, the Oricorio's there. Guzma's really good. Not only like mirror matches to get rid of capes against Decidueye, they all have capes. Like, tools are all over the place, especially Darkrai Giratinas, that they'll try to like keep up with the damage with using their rocky helmets and stuff, get it out of the way. Any Solgaleo decks get like their Skarmories are useless without the tools. So like Guzma's really good right now, and that's pretty much the list. I feel like I talked more about like the format than the deck, but the format is why I recommend this deck. So let's go into the gameplay. Hopefully we keep winning. We get deeper into top 1000. We don't want to get out of it anymore. So if after this video you try this list or have been trying this list, please comment down below your experience with it, your thoughts about it, what you would do differently, which of the choices that I made did you actually like not agree on, or you like maybe you think Double Cyrus is better, maybe you think I should find space for a Frogadier. Feel free to put them down below in the comments. I'll read them. I love feedback because honestly, as like sometimes as somebody who just plays yourself, you kind of get like tunnel vision into a strategy, and you like completely miss like reasons for certain cards or like the theory behind them. And hopefully y'all find something good about this video, whether it's entertaining, whether it's like a guide to how to use this deck. As always, thank y'all for watching. I appreciate every one of y'all. Please subscribe or consider subscribing if you enjoy the content. We post everything Pokemon Pocket. There's going to be a lot more like Master Ball content due to the fact that I already posted all the expert solo battles. So we got to wait till next set for that. But that won't stop the content from flowing. Best of luck on ladder, and above all else, stay pro. All right, we get to go first, which honestly, it no longer feels like too bad. I used to like hate going first, but due to like the rare candy meta, things has really changed. You see Psychic Energy, you assume it's a Tapu Lele deck, so them not going first is almost better than us. Like, it doesn't even matter what we're doing. It's better that they're not going first is what I'm trying to say. Because they going second, like their Tapu Lele, yeah, gets an energy, doesn't do anything with it. I guess they could build up Giratina a little bit more than usual, but all right, here the strategy is pretty simple. And we'll hold off red card for their turn. Like hopefully they do like research and some other cards there. Oof. And that's another thing. If we see, I think it's worth placing down Giant Cape already, mainly because of like red card. I don't want to put it back into my deck and then draw a part of my 3-card hand unless the other 2 cards are like Rare Candy, Greninja. Yeah, we'll hold Rare Candy for the following turn, and hopefully we draw into Rare Candy. That'll put us very ahead. Also, if after this water we see Lightning Energy, that'd be great. Let's see here. There's a Rida, which is not necessarily what we want to see, but we're okay with that. Let's go here. Red card here is kind of not necessary because they don't have like the Froakie set up yet. So I think we're good with passing. Let's see here. We do risk getting hit by red, like their red card. You see, now red card is going to be a lot better if they don't hit us with their own. It doesn't look like, oof. Would it be too greedy to hold red card once again? I don't know. It doesn't look like they have too good of a hand going. I feel like just in case they end up using a Mars or something, I think if we maximize the healing, if we get rid of this Tapu Lele, this red card's right in between, like, oh, they're not really doing anything with their hand, and like we could either unlock their hand by giving them 3 cards that are actually worth something. I think we're gonna wait on it. I don't want to put Giratina down, but at the same time, we could start building it up if we get rid of. Nah, I'm not going to put Giratina down because I'd rather that spot go to Shaman, honestly. And this matchup, Giratina is like a trap almost. Unless you're like really able to build it. Like they don't see Tapu and you're able to build it up. That's like one way you could think about it. And maybe we're holding the red card for too long. And I know there was like a bunch of... But again, my mentality is if there's no Froakie... You see, now we got hit with Mars and we might regret this. But if there's no Froakie line, you have to assume they have like... Red Greninja, we drew like the exact same 3 cards, right? Except the red card. That's what we lost the red card. That's what happened. That's okay. Well, technically, our Rida puts us right back to full. And there's the Shaman we were trying to hold the spot for. Realistically, putting energy on this Froakie is kind of dangerous because it's not going to be attacking anytime soon. And we could also just hold our Rida. Let's just take the knockout on Tapu Lele. Honestly, this is an example of like us getting. It's almost like, are we getting lucky? Because let's say they did have the Froakie line already, like starting to set up, we would have red carded them, right? But now we're in a situation where if they do see that Froakie, we gotta like top deck red card. I don't know. Not putting the energy, I might regret that, but also we were never attacking with Greninja until later, right? Let's see what they grab here. They got the Froakie now. Yeah, if we don't see. If we don't see the red card, we might get in trouble here. Why would they do that? That might just be them like conceding almost. Oh, this I feel comfortable putting down. We don't need an Irida just yet. Earlier I used it because like just in case they do something crazy, but now for the rest of the game we have an option of just like bringing that out with Cyrus. The second Giratina doesn't bother us. You have to assume they have the rare candy. Yeah. That's something that we would have like wanted to red card, but they got us with Mars first. However, we're not really in danger just yet. Like the biggest risk we have is some kind of like Cyrus play, but they could only take two names with that. Yeah, there goes the first Froakie. Again, we're fine with this, right? Honestly, we're a rare candy away from the victory here. We have 8 cards in deck, so 25% chance, and doesn't count top decking research. Okay, Pokeball's not it, but it does thin the deck out. I lied. we saw everything. Oh, there's the other Froakie. Okay, never mind. You can put down the bird, so now Sabrina's not a play, although they shouldn't be on Sabrina, right? Heal up a little bit more. Tapu Lele is not a threat, so we could put the energy here. And realistically, as you can see, they're playing Mono Psychic. That's another thing. I guess in tournament they could change up whether they're playing with so like this Greninja can never attack, and now they clog the Tapu Lele lane. So we're literally a Greninja away from victory, or a Cyrus or Greninja. So now the list of cards that win us the game is now up to 3. All right, now the most they could do in one turn is going to be 40 damage from Greninja, like, and we get Mars'd again, this time for 2 cards. And again, there's 3 cards that win us the game outright from the top deck. It's going to be the Cyrus or double rare candy. There you go. I know it's like, oh, lucky I got out. Like, we listed how many it would have been. 3 out of 8. I don't know what percentage that is off the top of my head. Yeah, so GG's. That's something like the reason we played double Irida, although it didn't end up coming up because obviously they kind of like, it's like they didn't see their had they seen the cards they wanted to, we would have red carded them earlier. I don't know. It's hard. I guess you could judge whether actually feel free to comment down below what you would have done differently, or if we just got lucky in there. I do believe in this matchup we never build up Giratina because it's just a bait for them to like Tapu Lele or bring out with their Cyrus. But that happens also with the Garchomp matchup. But in this instant, it worked out perfectly for us. Rare Candy took its while to get in our hand, but let's go on to another game. All right, in this example, now we're going second, and it's against Grass. Off the top of my head, I assume it's gonna be Decidueye, but seeing the Arceus sleeves, it could be Carnivine as well. Yeah, it's Carnivine. Yeah, it's Carnivine, and they drew the nuts. We could just lose next turn, and have like, and can't do anything about it. If their hand is Rare Candy Crobat, we just lose. Unless, yeah, we lose to well, I already said it, right? But if they don't have it and they just hit us for 50, we're able to Rare Candy. We have some plays. If they don't do just Rare Candy into Crobat. Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed. If they have it, the deck's just punishing me for like betraying it really, because that's been my pet deck like all format. I've had a 12-win streak with it. Okay, Giant Cape seems like we're okay. Although the plays are no longer as good. So, good thing we're still alive. Bad thing. Let's see. We definitely do the red candy play. And luckily we got a water among our first two energies, right? We do have a Cyrus play, so there's a world. We're definitely doing this. Do we Irida or do we Professors for more cards? Because the most they could do is 50. I think we Irida just because if they have the Crobat play, we kind of like want to avoid that as much as possible. Feel free to comment again. Comment down below. Oh, you messed up. You should have done this. You should have done that. Whatever. I want to hold Cyrus for like to grab him out in Arceus before they want to. We could also do it to knock out the Zubat too, right? Let's go. Should we just giant? Yeah, why not? And technically we put them to 90. Yeah, let's do all the damage on this front Carnivine so that even if they try to retreat it or whatever, we could shoot it and attack something else. All right, they attack us to 50, go to 80, which still puts us in line to lose to the Crobat play the following turn. So hopefully we see some cards off this research. We could also just knock out that Zubat, right? Oof, that Pokeball's huge. Before or after? Or what will Oricorio do for us? We could hit it with I think we gotta do it after. We want to see as many Pokemon as possible. And that's well, asking you shall receive, huh? Oof, a Shaman here would be huge, although it's not guaranteed. This is a 33% chance to be any of the last three Pokemon we have. No Shaman, but I think it's worth putting down. The Giratina is almost like a bait. Not that they could like bring it out, but we're not gonna waste time bringing that using it, right? I think our best bet. This Carnivine is not gonna get healed anytime soon. We definitely put this here. Okay, they conceded, yeah, because from here I think I was definitely gonna. Well, we researched, right? So yeah, we're just taking out the Carnivine, deal 60 damage. We would have yeah, we couldn't knock out the Zubat just yet, but commanding position. We got lucky though, because turn one, if they had the God Hand, the Exodia, or whatever people want to call it, Thanos, whatever, the Gauntlet, whatever you want to call that. If they had it, we would have lost, but they didn't, so we won. It's pretty standard there. As you can see, we keep winning. Go on to another game. All right, now we're going second against, as you can see, some Rowlet sleeves. So you gotta assume. What you gotta assume, right? We do have the red card, which is nice. I guess what's not nice is the Shaman start. But we are going second, so at least we get to throw an energy at the Shaman and like get it out of there as soon as possible. Leaf Cape, we let those get built up because we do have Guzma. Later in the games, those could come in handy. Let's definitely research. We're going to hold red card. We might get punished. Like if they red card us back, it is what it is. Oof. A Froakie there would have been huge, but we're at the mercy of the game, huh? Yeah, we'll red card now after this turn where they use their cry for help and all that. And after deck thinning, so like that, maximize the chances of them not drawing too well. You see now that Guzma, we're probably Guzma next turn if we don't. No need to hold it, and it makes it so that we could really use the Froakie next turn, man. Let's see here. And Giratina, not my first choice, right? As always, we will. Yeah, let's red card. Slow them down as much as possible. We are just a Froakie away from like really popping off. No reason not to Guzma. That's the only two tools they have, and we rather use other supporters later in the game. Yeah, there's like a sneak aspect to the cape, but all right, this might. Is it too crazy to cape Shaman here? Because if they go, I think we just need Shaman to survive as long as possible, right? It's just that Cape is what lets us survive the Meowscarada attack as well. But if they go Meowscarada right now, we just lose anyways, right? So I think we got to play around that as much as we don't want to. Yeah, we could have used the Froakie there. We've yet to see a research. Oh, we have seen research. We just... Oh, that's right. It was like double Greninja draws, right? Okay, the Pokeball is fine. What we don't want to see is rare candy. That's literally... Okay, which that shows signs of like no rare candy. And also no energy on Rowlet is a decent look for us. Froakie. Not my first choice, but it does counter the Decidueye. The only issue is that we've yet to see an electric type energy here. But I feel like we see a Froakie and like the tide of the game completely shifts. We've yet to make them waste like any healing though. We've yet to attack, right? That's an issue. Rare candy, I'm assuming it's gonna be the Meowscarada. Decidueye, okay. At least they got a way to turn on that, but now they got Meowscarada as well. We have the counter to Decidueye, but they have the counter to our Oricorios here, so... Do we at least see Lightning coming in? Yeah. So we have Giratina ready next turn. The Shaman is Dunzo next turn as well. I guess in some worlds where we want to like retreat with Giratina or something. I don't really know what to do here. The good thing Oricorio could take a hit from Meowscarada, doesn't automatically lose to it, so we have some plays going on. This Shaman is good as gone. Let's do it like this. And build this up again. Really need to see a Froakie. 9 cards left. Out of the 9 cards, we got the 2 Froakies, 2 Pokeballs, a Research. That's about it. So more than half is potentially a Froakie. I'm just hoping it doesn't come too late, because that always feels bad. But this is like, hopefully this is an example where I can show y'all that no matter how like the games goes, we're still like in it somehow. Like not somehow. It's like somewhat. This is what I guess is the word I was looking for. Because okay. He's gonna go. Okay, so he's committing to dealing damage, which is in our best interest for sure. Again, we just gotta hope that they don't just rare candy into Meowscarada. We already red carded. Never mind. Which also makes me think, why would they do this route? Because Oricorio is gonna be able to tag the Decidueye twice, like at least once. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. We really need free Froakie. If we see Froakie, we're in it. Trust me. Froakie, come on. Do it for your boy. Okay, that's not guaranteed Froakie, but it could be a Froakie. It's a 67% chance Froakie. Okay, we'll take it. We'll take the... Okay. Now, clearly, their options are pretty obvious from here. Where they just go... Bring out Meowscarada, tag us for... The healing's unfortunate. That's like the issue with like how slow we've been building up. Like usually we get to like force this out earlier. The good thing is that we have like a chance to like really deal damage here. A second Froakie, that could work as well. Because you see what happens here. And we could actually build up an attacking Greninja. See, what we have at our disposal here is kind of like... It's pretty decent. Because we could take out Meowscarada this turn, but we end up losing that trade, right? Because we go down to 130, they bring out Decidueye, hit us for like 80, and then we can't knock out Decidueye in return. Unless we see a second, but we can't risk that. We definitely got to back this up. into this, I feel. And sure, why not? The only way we could commit Giratina to attack the Meowscarada, unfortunately, we're giving them time to find the good thing, they're out of 2 rare candies, right? So if they don't see Floragato, this is never going to be Meowscarada. The issue is that I'm trying to point out, and I'm blanking out. The chances they don't see is very, very low. They got 2 cards left in deck. Yeah. No, we needed to see that Greninja earlier. We're still not out of it. I wanna stress that. It's just they got too much healing going on. No Floragato though. No Floragato. So maybe there's a chance. There's the Cyrus that we need to like really close it out. We were always doing this. We could tag the Sprigatito. Okay, because we could tag this. I think this turn we could risk trying to take it out. It might be a little too greedy. No, and then if... I think we're forced to, right? Maybe I'm too... Oh, wait. Oh, please give me a chance to attack. Come on. Screw the animation. Oof. 3 seconds left on the clock. I'm overthinking maybe too much. But this puts them on a, like, if they attack the back line. Are they really going to go the Floragato right? The Floragato route? They need a heal here. And hope we don't top deck rare candy. And we have Professor's Research and the rare candy. If they don't heal, we win. There's no reason for them not to heal. Yeah, okay. Alright, it comes down. I threw it all in the rare candy at the top. Sometimes you just gotta do it. Bro, that's so sacky. I'm sick. I'm sick. That is gross. You know what? Meowscarada players deserve that one. And not because... Actually, no. Because, honestly, I've lost so much ranking trying that Meowscarada list. I saw it was doing so well in the tournament. I'm like, you know what? Let me try this out. Bro, I cannot play... that. I cannot find rare candy when I need it. But Greninja got my back. That's 3 games in a row. Did I deserve that one? You know what? That's for everybody who's lost to a top deck Meowscarada. Let's go. And we're back to 1900. Alright, going second on the final game of the video. Win or lose, this will be posted. And we get our final matchup that we were missing, I guess. The Darkrai. It could be Arceus as well, but... Alright. We are going second, so they have, like, advantage in terms of, like, building this up. But we do have healing on our side to kind of like... We'll see. Honestly, Giratina's not the ideal start. But all we have to do is find the bird, right? This is I don't know if they're on Komala. I guess we'll see. They've definitely Pokeballed enough to see it. But this is definitely become find the bird. Operation Find the Bird. That's the word I was looking for. So far, no koalas. Red card. Red card's... Actually, red card's not fine, because that hand was perfect to find the bird. Okay, we got our own red card. That's probably not good. Okay, we can still find the bird. We just lost research, though. Let's see here. Rare candy, so... Do we red card their 3-card hand? Probably not. Operation Find the Bird is not going too well. We're not playing communication or nothing, so there's no reason to hold that as either. Let's go here. realistically, we probably get Giratina out of there as soon as possible. Honestly, once we find the bird, I feel pretty safe about the situation. Clearly, we don't want to take too many hits from Darkrai. Because if, like, at this situation, we could Irida our HP back and we're fine. Alright, so... It would suck that after all these games we got lucky. The one game we lose is the one that we're supposed to like auto win because of the bird. Like it was in the intro and everything. If we charge right now, they'll go to 3. We could get the Giratina out the way, but then we're really at the mercy of like losing some cards here. We need a lot of things going our way, and right now, like, none of them are. An Irida would be cool. Irida would be cool. Greninja. A research into bird Greninja. Like, something that the Greninja would do is, like, we could snipe the Giratina that's not built up in the back. And just Cyrus, like, get out of the way, buy us some time. That red card really messed us up, huh? The chances of seeing... Granted, we still saw Pokeball, we still saw cards, like, we just didn't see it. So it's, like, hard to say, like, oh, it should have happened like this or like that. I don't even know, like, what's the ideal draw here. Like, an Irida would help us live longer. The bird here would be nice if they don't have Cyrus. We are definitely going to red card, just please... The bird, come on, let's go. Okay, we're definitely gonna Oricorio. We just punt the Giratina energy or try to keep it like, well, definitely red carding. We want to have Oricorio be attacking as soon as possible, right? I think. Or do we want to keep Giratina like potentially being able to attack? I think that's more important. Can we negate? It won't need to attack anytime soon, right? Because if they have the Cyrus, we explode anyways. Yeah, so let's do this in hopes that Irida kind of saves us later on. Because let's say they don't have the Cyrus off, if we red carded them, they don't have Cyrus right now, and we top deck Irida, we're no longer in danger of that, right? So it's like fingers crossed. We gotta hope they didn't get it just now. And we got, not only do we gotta hope they didn't get it just now, we gotta hope, well, okay, that definitely shows no Cyrus right now. We gotta see Irida to heal us back up and like not have to worry about Cyrus for the rest of the game. Okay. Now there's another angle to it, which is if we wait one more turn, this is pure greed, right? If we wait one more turn, we're able to heal both of them back to full. And I think it's worth it. I think it's worth it. And you gotta think of like big picture. I'm aware of like right now that Irida would save us. But then what's the follow-up? Like how do we plan to win in the long run? So all we gotta hope for is one more turn of no Cyrus. Sabrina. Okay, yeah. So, funny enough, I'm gonna give them the Froakie with an energy on it. Because if they decide not to attack, we're okay. Funny enough. Do we just win? Like, there's a world where... Nah, I don't want to lose to, like, if they're playing, like, red or something crazy like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's a world where... We have to Irida here. I almost not played research because I was like, oh, bet a plus. We get the plus. Like, we could take the knockout here, but going down to... If we had Cape, I would do it, because going down to 130, we could lose to this for no reason. And right now, this Giratina is not doing anything. A second Sabrina would just take out Froakie, which sucks, but it's fine. We're no longer threatened by Cyrus. Research is fine. If they're not playing the koala, like at this point, we're just a second bird from like guaranteed. Okay, yeah, the koala's obviously not in their plans. Shaman would be nice. A second bird would be nice if we, but they wouldn't be on double Sabrina, right? They could be though. Okay, this bodes pretty well for us. Rocky Helmet, we don't care about. Where did the energy go? Did it go into Giratina like to save a turn? Okay, there's the Greninja. Everything's coming together. We could hold off on Cyrus. I guess what would we want to see? Cape is huge. Guzma's huge. Okay, so let's say... Because we could like close it out right now, right? Definitely put this here. Because we could hit this Giratina. Swing. Oh no, the Giratina has helmet right now, so let's not do that. We'll go down to third. I think, yeah, there's no reason to rush any of this. We'll hold Cape. I always want to go for this one. And honestly, with another Irida in the deck, Shaman coming shortly after, I think we could afford to take some damage here from the Rocky Helmet. Especially with the Guzma coming up. And we have our own Cape. Maybe that's too greedy. Maybe because again, there's no rush. Like at this point, it's basically checkmate. The most they could do is like another Sabrina. Yeah, this Guzma's about to go really in. We total 70, so there's no point in doing that either. Maybe we're cutting it. We cut it a little too close. Maybe I shouldn't attack that one turn with. All right, there's the second bird. Although this cancels out the Shaman play. I guess since we aren't attacking, we could give away. I think the lightning. Put water on everybody. Might as well use Guzma while we can. They might have another helmet somewhere, but I think we're okay with that. Let's Shuriken. Let's keep hitting the one in the back. Do they have potions and stuff? They've used no healing so far. And I guess we could do this as well. We're really close to being able to just like completely commit. I guess that turn I didn't have to switch, right? I could have just Guzma and swung for 50. Get too ahead of myself. But also there's no reason to risk going down so low, right? Honestly, this game's probably going a little bit longer than I would have hoped for. But it shows what I mean by like there's a free win. Granted, it is a slow win. Because that's something Darkrai Giratina players will do, which is like fight till the end, which I respect, you know. No reason not to, right? However, we do have Irida that's going to get us there. Research basically guarantees that we'll see it soon enough. So the last two cards in our deck are the Irida. Wait, what happened? Did Shaman that? Oh, the Froakie was the one that died early. I'm like, what? Okay, yeah. I'm like, what was going on? So Irida and then Shaman are the last cards that are left in the deck. Let's go Shuriken here on the Giratina in the back. No rush. They're definitely not playing the Koala. And we're setting up in a way where we knock down both of them at the same time. They need to have Potion here. And the best part is that with Irida coming, we're going to like basically reset the situation. We also have Cape. So they do have the Potion. Yeah, this is honestly not like the funnest way to win. Usually, by this point, they just give up. Wow, Irida took forever to get there, but it will get here. The name of the game does not change, however. Except this Oricorio in the back cannot attack, but that's not the name of the game. That's just fact. Technically Cape, whatever. I guess it's like if they have like another Mars or a red card. We really need to see Arida soon. Sooner rather than later. Although the first Irida basically guaranteed that we didn't lose to Cyrus, right? We were a little bit greedy on how we used it, but I felt like in the long con, or like it was necessary for us to like guarantee the win here. There's the Cape. They're really, really, really dragging this out, which they must feel like, oh, we're really close right now. I wonder what's left in the deck. For sure, they have Cyrus. Was that their second potion? They might have like another potion, maybe. The Irida seals. I'm assuming they're gonna concede the second we put the second Irida. That's my guess. Like, it took forever to get here, but like this should close it out. Like, accepted game state. Like, GG's. Okay, they're staying in. Okay, once again, put this down. Next turn, we have the Cyrus play. We have Giratina basically knocking out whatever they have in front. We didn't even put an energy down there. It doesn't really matter, but yeah. Okay, so we're down. We both have all cards. My deck against their deck. Like, everything's revealed. I don't know what their win condition was. Or they're just, like, dragging it out. I don't blame them. I know about, like, BMing or whatever. Like, oh, no. Is this how we're going to end the video? That man waited to his last card and said, I'm going to disconnect. Alright, so I'm aware that this is not the most morally, like, satisfying victory. I'm aware that's kind of like, I don't know. Bottom of the... There's probably a term for this. Low-hanging fruit or something? Like a very, like, easy win. Kind of, like, ignorant that this exists, but it's part of the game. They should, like, you see, they've had every card in their deck. The fact that they don't have an out to the bird is what I was explaining in the intro, so I'm glad it happened. Like, there's a lot of people like this guy, or this girl, this person, that go into ranked with the idea, like, if I go to the bird, I'll lose. Although, you would hope that that person, with that mentality, sees the situation and concedes, and you go on to the next game. Realistically, this long, dragged-out game usually doesn't happen. But it is what it is. It's part of the game, unfortunately. There's nothing against, like, nothing happens to them for doing so. They might think of it like, oh, you wasted my time, I'll waste yours or something. I really don't know. So we'll go through the motion anyways. As always, the Giratina was only there because we like led with it, right? Realistically, most of the time, more often, we wouldn't commit that to the board. Like, it was just the thing we led off with. So we had to take a few hits from the Darkrai, and eventually we put it right back to a full. And you know what? Let's have the bird have the final hit. And GG. So we went against basically the top of the meta. We went against the Tapu Lele deck, I believe. Now I forgot. It was 4 decks. It was definitely Arceus, I believe, Tapu Lele, Decidueye, and Darkrai Giratina. The only deck that we didn't go against was probably like Charizard, which is a deck that we auto win with the bird. So hopefully the deck profile, deck breakdown, along with the gameplay, showed or backed up my thoughts of why I believe this is like the best deck to climb ranked with. I know I did get lucky in like the Decidueye deck, but you got to put yourself in situations like that. If you think about it, in that game, had I seen the Greninja much earlier, like, it would have been a completely different game where we would have won much earlier. So that's one way to look at it. Honestly, what I love about this deck is the fighting chance against no matter what's in front of you, right? So we take that with open arms. That's like what I want to see in a deck. It's sort of like I liked Arceus Carnivine, but it loses. Arceus Carnivine, like Crobat, loses to itself much more than this deck does. Like, if you don't see Rare Candy in that deck, and I don't know. There's a lot of awkward hands with that deck. This deck, as you saw, we kind of like were able to manage or like weave through the awkward hands until we won. And we'll give the guy the thanks anyways. And as you can see, we ended up winning all 4 games for a total of a 5-game win streak, barring from when I last started. And we're now well into the top 1,000, 10 points away from my peak so far this season. So hopefully we'll keep grinding, keep climbing. Hopefully this deck helps y'all keep grinding, climbing, regardless of what your goal is, whether you want to be Master Ball, Ultra Ball, or just want, like, I don't know. It's realistically there's not much to the prizing, but it's always fun. At least I like grinding, I like winning. I enjoy playing the game. I do content, so it's like all worth it at the end for me. Regardless, I hope this helps you, or at least entertains you. As always, we post everything Pokemon Pocket here, so please consider subscribing. We're so close to 500. Appreciate every single one of y'all, especially if you reach this part of the video. You're all the best. And above all else, stay pro.